Hey, what's happening? It's Dominic D'Angelo of Oh my God, Studio1Sports.com. And it's rumored Innuendo. I'm flying solo today. Robert is on assignment. He's away for the next few days. You got me today, and I'm going to try to get a couple guests on tomorrow and Thursday. So we got some W Raw to talk about, but let's say hi to some folks in the chat here. Joseph Wade Walters, Morning Rumor Heads, 30 days sober. Although Dom makes me want to drink sometimes. LOL, JK. Love you guys and thank you all for the entertainment. Oh, congratulations, Joseph Wade Walters. Keep it cooking. You know what? If you get through the first month of not drinking, things kind of develop and you see that roller coaster. It's like anything else. Like if you start going to the gym, you get the rhythm of it all, you start feeling good. So good for you, Joseph Wade Walters. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Willie Thornborough says, I wish I was famous enough to get squashed on a Raw. Congratulations, he says to Joseph Wade Walters, one day at a time, about to celebrate 15 years. Congrats, Willie Thornborough. All right. Kimmy Star says, after morning. Johnny Disco says, hello, aren't I? Antonio Santos, 3093, says, holy crap, I haven't been up for this in a while. Hey, good to have you back in the mix. Caspian says, all hail King Uso. Wow, that'd be interesting. Ray Owens, hello, Arnaya. Can we have Dom do the Oba strut while playing? I'm so excited. Oh boy, that's gonna take $20 super chat. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be doing that, especially in a public venue here. Sling Old Head says, good afternoon, all. Wondering if WWE would tease Oba winning King of the Ring with a confrontation with Roman next week. Interesting. Where's Joe Hendry? Ooh, that's a good question. Yes. Jeez, oh man. Joseph Wade Walters returns the congratulations to Willie. Says, awesome, brother. Keep it up, man. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we have some things to talk about. That includes WWE Raw. I thought there was some compelling stuff, but overall, Raw was like a little, whatever. You know, I think it's long in the tooth. It needs to be shortened. There's a lot going on Raw, and it doesn't feel like a lot is too much happening, if that makes any sense. I did really enjoy the opening segment with Fatu attacking Eric Andre, and then Roman Reigns being like, "Yeah, give him more." And then I also like the aspect of him getting the Ulafata or whatever it's called, and adding a little ripple in there. However, the intrigue was a little taken away when Fatu comes out and saves the Usos from LA Knight. Did not like that as much, and because I think you have an intriguing, if you want to make this bloodline story compelling, because I do think this is a forever angle that's like not interesting overall, but you gave a little interest when it came to Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu by this new ripple. You immediately took it away when he comes back and saves the Usos. Like, I'm not that interested in the Usos and Jacob being all on the same page. I don't. There's not a lot of value in all that. So, I mean, maybe there's a wait and see kind of aspect to it, but if they just ended it with the opening segment and left it where it was, where like there's a little bit of like confusion and tension, then I'd be more for that. Because what I wouldn't be necessarily against is if Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu end up being like the big kind of baby faces while the Usos turn heel. And maybe they align with Solo and then you have something different going on. I'm just really overall over the bloodline. And there were sure embers at that opening segment to get me a little interested into it, but that got taken away later on, like I said, in that LA Knight segment. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Sound off in the chat. Also, I haven't done this in a while. Be sure to go to studio1sports.com and subscribe there. Tune in from there because I want to ultimately, like I keep saying, transition out of those other channels that we're on, which is the Rumor and Innuendo channel and the Oh You Didn't Know YouTube channel as well, just so we have everybody going to that channel. So subscribe, studio1sports.com. That's where I have control over everything. Is at that channel. So Dre Owens says, crazy. That collision was also 2.5 hours, and we got 8 to 9 matches. Wrestling Old Ed says, I think it's the abundance of segments and a few matches that run long that make it feel longer than normal. Yeah, I mean, it's a long show. I like I feel like AEW Dynamite is more digestible. It's a better show right now, anyways. So, um, Caspian asks, "Is Road Dog's podcast coming back?" That's up to Road Dog at some point if he ever wants to do it again. So, I had a blast producing that show. It was one of my favorite shows I got to be a part of. It'd be awesome to do it again, but that's all up to Dog. So we'll have to wait and see on it. Devin Dowling, Ayo, solo Dom today. That is correct. It's just me. I like doing the solo shows from time to time because I kind of can go off the rails and interact and talk about stuff that maybe wouldn't necessarily hit the rundown sheet. But let's go over Raw here. Like I already covered the opening segment here. I did say this on X2. Um, I like the way that the title looks on Roman. I mean, that's a great looking title, by the way. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship, best looking title WWE currently has. I think it's above the WWE Championship. I don't like how they got away with by redoing the Intercontinental Championship. Um, and then like the United States title, nah, not into that. So I think that's best looking title they got is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, okay, let's take a look at what went down. I think I got to go in reverse here. I usually go to Bleacher Report for my results to just recap, and they kind of change it up because they started doing a live blog version of it all. Okay, so I just got to go from the bottom up. I did like the Eric Andre getting involved, and like it almost felt like a turning point where they're just like Triple H or whoever, just like let's get the celebrities in there and then let's beat their asses because the celebrity involvement is just it was overdone and it took away a lot from WWE and what the product was about. You have Jelly Roll, you have Pat McAfee, you have oh my god, what's the guy's name that got so much? Travis Scott. You had so many of these celebrities getting involved. It's good to see one get beat up again finally. So and not look like, oh, we're lauding you and praising you and all that stuff. Wrestling Olded says that Eric Andre segment reminded me of Umaga attacking Steve-O. Yeah, that got brought up too on X, I saw. So yeah, no, I think that's the way to do it. Eric Andre returns to challenge Jacob at SummerSlam. My gosh, that would be something. But yeah, I like that. I like doing that. Okay, so we had Queen of the Ring semifinal. That's Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Um, Sky wins this. She's over big time, But I do think I'd love to see Raquel win that because I just think Queen of the Ring, it's an opportunity to kind of push somebody up to the next level here, and Io Sky's already at that level. So I think putting Raquel in the finals position makes her feel like a bigger deal and kind of gets that accreditation. What's the word for it? The you kind of see what her journey has been as like raising up, getting bigger, and her putting in the effort to get like better and everything like that. I don't want to say you're rewarding her for that, but at the same time too, validation. That's Joseph Lee Walters hit it right there. That's what I'm looking for. Validation of what Raquel Rodriguez has been doing. So Kevin Kellum too, who might be on the show later this week, says Io versus Raquel is a strong match. I agree with that for sure. I do think though, I don't like necessarily moments where they didn't make Raquel feel like a big man, so to speak, a monster. Because Io Sky pulled off that turnbuckle power bomb, and I think some of that stuff doesn't necessarily make. I couldn't envision like a Kevin Nash or like somebody a big show doing some of those things to take you know, to make them feel less of a presence and unique. So wasn't necessarily too big of a fan of that, but I did like. Um, yeah, I thought the match was pretty solid too. I agree with Kevin on that. Um, Wrestling Old says really like Roxanne and Charlotte. Yeah, I liked it too. Another good women's match took place. I like Roxanne a lot, and Charlotte's all obviously always good. So, and yeah, I was okay with Roxanne losing to happen. I thought that was fine. Um, I think there's just more story to probably tell here with Liv and Roxanne. Um, but I also too at the same time think that there's more story to tell with Raquel maybe making it to the finals. I I think like Io Sky's already at that level. So I mean you could call her the queen of the sky if she wins the thing, but is that's all you're really getting out of it. You know? I don't think and oh sure you'll get like she'll get the SummerSlam title shot or whatever, but why not? And I guess maybe that's probably more what they're thinking is get your names out there and ready to go for SummerSlam. But I think there's a lot more value in having the king and queen of the ring mean something to a star that's on the rise. Like you look back at like even like The Rock when he made it to the finals and he won King of the Ring. That felt like more validation too because he did win King of the Ring in '98, right? Yeah, because it was him and Shamrock in the finals, and then Shamrock lost the King of the Ring, and then The Rock came King of the Ring. Am I right on that? 1998. But then they tried doing it with yes. Oh, okay. So it was the other way. Can Shamrock won King of the Ring, and that should have been a moment too. And I felt like it should have been that Shamrock should go to the next level too. You know, it's almost like another Intercontinental Championship in a way, right? Where it's just like you win the championship and then you move to the next level. It's like the next step almost. Okay, so that's right. Shamrock won King of the Ring. Couldn't remember. I really could. Um, Jerry Owens says Raquel needs to win, beat Liv in a squash like Backlund versus Diesel, have Raquel go on a tear for a year as a champ. I like that a lot. I really like that. And then Joseph Wade Walter said he faced Owen at SummerSlam. Interesting. Man, I love the 90s. The 90s. I mean, I'm going to say the Attitude Era. But, so, yeah, I think just Io advancing and going into the Queen of the Ring finals feels like treading water. Like you're not doing anything different. And so we have that. Um, let's see here. We got a lot of people chiming in. Devin Dowling says Shamrock beat Bret Hart on Raw before Survivor Series '97. He should have been added to avoid the screw job. Give him the title, have HBK beat him the next pay per view. Oh, that'd have been interesting. That'd have been interesting. Wait, how much would that have changed the course of wrestling history if that went down differently? I wonder. I'm curious about it. No, he did not. He didn't beat Dan Severn in the King of the Ring qualifier because Dan Severn beat D'Lo Brown. That's where he tore his chest pectoral. Was in 1998. So at least I believe that was in a King of the Ring match, right? Caspian says so. After Jay becomes Uso becomes one of the few to win the Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, and belt at Mania. When will he be the one to beat Rome at SummerSlam or Mania or Saudi? I don't necessarily think it's a layup that Jey Uso's winning the King of the Ring tournament. You know, I guess it would be an interesting route to take if you have Jey Uso be a heel champion, but I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. I just don't picture Jay as a world champion at this moment in time. Like, I feel like he's going to be in the like top level storyline, but is he going to be the storyline? I don't know. Interesting. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So The Rock beat Dan Severn in the quarterfinals. Wow, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Willie Thornberry says he would have had Owen Hart win the title right after they had the screw job. Boy, that would have been a move. Yeah, I think there was a lot of politics going on at that point in time, and Owen Hart was probably in. He probably had very, very mixed feelings of what was going on. So obviously, um, Preston Golden says he feels like they're going with Uso Gunther at SummerSlam. I hope not. I just don't. I don't see any appeal to that. Um, Jay is not as hot as he was, and Gunther's just been. I don't know. I don't think that's a headline match for SummerSlam. I really don't. Don't think this is gonna happen either, Jay. Ooh, what if we get Sammy beats Cody, Jay versus Sammy at SummerSlam? Don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think that's in the cards. Just don't. I think like WrestleMania, they're gonna try to get your big names out there in prominent positions. Ooh. Just well, it sounds like an opening match for Mania. Oh wait. Let's see. All right, gotta go back to the page where the results are. We had got talked about that. Liv Morgan, Dan Housing segment. I like the Dan Housing segment and the inclusion of him. I'll have to say that this particular segment, though, kind of fell a little flat. Um, it's just, um, I don't know, like, how, like, because there was a moment where, like, Dan Housing was like, she said that you're powerful. And he, like, looked up and he's like, ooh, I found my human teeth. And it didn't look like that. It looked like he was reacting to her saying powerful. And it didn't, I don't know, it didn't click as well for me. Um, there's not going to be an RVD episode live this week. I don't believe Triple E because RVD's out, but I do have something planned, so we'll see. I'll keep posted on it. Caspian says any chance they might reunite the two world titles anytime soon or ever. I mean, there's always a chance, but I don't think it's in the running at the moment. Um, I think what you're doing with both titles like isn't intriguing, but um, there's a reason that they're both there, and like I think to merge them again at this point in time would be way too soon, anyways, and I just don't think that's it. Apparently, Jalen Brunson said the curse is real on Jimmy Fallon last night. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better story for WWE. And obviously, on Raw, we saw them lean into that, and play up all that stuff. Knicks as champs, Jalen Brunson on Stephanie McMahon's podcast and all that stuff. So there was a lot of good stuff taken away from that. Willie Thornberry. So if you lose two main events in a row against Roman Reigns, you get a necklace. Yeah, Roman kind of made a case for why he was going to bat for Jacob Fatu to the Usos on Raw. I don't know if I necessarily have made that segment. I just think, why not? I mean, I guess it's not too big of a deal. Ultimately, though, if it puts Roman and Jacob on the same page and they're like big time good guy baby faces things, I'm more for that than what's going on. All right, let's continue on here, see what else we have. But yeah, that Dan Housley segment, it was fine, but it wasn't as great as the Miz and Kit Wilson segment either at the same time. So we're getting Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins in a steel cage at Night of Champions. All right, that should be good. So LA Knight confront Adam Pearce. Thought that was all right. Chad Gable versus Rusev. Thought this was a decent match. I don't know though. Rusev, where's his trajectory going? Like he taps out to Chad Gable. He just feels like fodder. He felt like Bebop or Rocksteady to Ethan Page's Super Shredder, right? Or Shredder. And so I don't know what they're doing with Rusev. It feels like he's just put in this role where he's just supporting cast where, when you brought him back, he definitely could have been a main event player. Maybe there's still hope for that, but I don't know. So yeah, um, but I'm not necessarily against this whole LA Knights stuff. I'm all right with how they're using them when it comes to these segments and things. And Chad Gable, obviously, he's on another level here when it comes to what they're doing with him, and I think they're on the right track with him. I like his like theme music. It's kind of like it's like almost like a Nickelback mixed with something else, like Nickelback mixed with like the Ultimate Warriors theme. That's what it feels like right now. So I'm all for distinct theme music, and so don't know if it necessarily fits his character really at the moment, but I'm all right with it. Also, like the tease of him saying like I got to make some more I owe more people an apology, and then he walks by Maxine and Austin Theory who are chatting it up, and I like that stuff. Mm. So let's continue on here. Yeah, we had the LA Knight segment, which I kind of touched upon already, but I think LA Knight's kind of getting better and feeling more of a groove right now when it comes to his mic work and his ability to talk in the ring more so. I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable. Not that he wasn't totally uncomfortable, but like I think he's finding a little bit more of a groove. I just still don't know where they're going with the Usos here and LA Knight, and then you have Jacob Fatu making the save for them. It kind of just like tempered my like enthusiasm for potentially what was going on with the bloodline just in a matter of one show. Um, let's see. Wrestling Old, I'd asked the question: do you think that it's the name LA Knights that's holding him back? And if you went by Eli Drake, you'd have been a champion already. I don't think it's the name's necessarily the issue. I really don't. Because like it's still something you can play off of. I just think in a lot of ways, um, it's probably a little bit of both aspects come into play when it comes to W maybe not fully getting behind him, and then maybe him just doing stuff that doesn't necessarily get him to the main event level yet, or what it is. I think it's a little bit of both sides of the party there going on there. And Lily Thornberry makes a good point. What are the differences a few years make? Remember, he used to be Shorty G, yeah, right? So you just never know here. Jay Owens also says could be age. Mm-hmm. Joseph Wade Walter says definitely age and Robert's intense hatred of him. See, yeah, I don't mind LA Knight as much as Robert does. I think LA Knight is. I think there's some potential there. I think he's got some intrigue. Um, do I see him as a world champ? Possibly at some point, but I don't necessarily see him there yet. But I do see that he's kind of developing a little bit more in the ring from a mic standpoint and like who he is as a character and stuff. I think he's been giving a platform and kind of been running with it. We talked about Charlotte and Roxanne. Thought that was already a good segment or a good match, and intrigued to see kind of what they do with Liv Morgan too. I'm ready for Roxanne to turn babyface, Lyra Valkyria to turn heel, and get some big stars going again, like just some new big stars. I think you position Lyra in a great heelish manner. You got something special there. I talked to her fiance LJ Cleary over a year ago now, and one of the things that he said is she is going to be a great heel once she turns. So, I mean, take that. I think that's great stuff. So I'm intrigued to see what she could potentially do as a heel. So I hope they pull the trigger on that. Let's see. Let's see. Just taking a look. Okay, we got Logan Paul who invites Javon Evans to join the Vision. I'm for Javon Evans cutting a little promo. I thought he did a decent job at that for sure, calling out Jey Uso. And then we had Austin Theory versus Javon Evans. And then Evans wins that via DQ by a big time spear by Braun Breaker. So that was pretty cool. Street Profits returned to don't know. Just feels like that part's treading water too. It's like I want to see the rise of Montez Ford here, and maybe you split him and Dawkins up, and both guys can benefit from that. I do think that too is going to be accurate, very accurate. So and then we did get a segment where Roman like whispered to Jacob Fatu, and they're on the same page and stuff like that. So I don't know. I want more tension between him and the Usos, so hopefully maybe we'll be getting that. But I don't know if necessarily. I don't know how if they executed as well as they should have, this time around. Before we get to the main event match, let's do a little due diligence, shall we? And talk about YouTube. That's right. Guys, if your lady or your fella or that person that sends you an eggplant emoji at 2 a.m. is ready for better sex, then you should be too. That's where Blue Chew comes in. They've been on a mission for years to get you bricked up, build your confidence, help you actually perform in the bedroom. Their new arousal boosting formula, Blue Chew Gold, is helping millions of men have better sex in 2026. While most ED meds only focus on blood flow, Blue Chew Gold goes further by combining 2 ingredients for blood flow with 2 ingredients for mental arousal and connection. So if you're not just physically ready, you're actually in the mood. This type of innovation is why Blue Chew Gold is the #1 brand in erectile function. Don't let your mind get in the way of a good time. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners right now. When you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, get the 3rd month for free. Promo code RUMOR. That's promo code RUMOR. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And hey, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you, Blue Chew. Oh, happy birthday, old head. All right. I'm just seeing that. He's off to his birthday. So enjoy it. Hope you do something fun, man. For sure. So let's keep on cooking here. So the main event, Open Femi, Dom Mysterio. I was thinking that there could be a chance that Dom wins and advances. You could create a cool story, but Open Femi advances. And then he cuts a promo on Brock Lesnar. And so calls him out, calls him basically a coward. And that's how the show closes. I think it's, we're going to get King Oba. Or would it be more interesting if Jey Uso wins King of the Ring? I think you can. Are you putting a hat on a hat by making Oba King of the Ring? But is that what I was just saying, though? Validation for a star on the rise. You give him the King of the Ring, he gets the title shot. I think that's where we're going to go. We're getting to Oba. He's going to win the King of the Ring and then challenge somebody for the title at SummerSlam. Putting Jey in that position is not intriguing. So, and to I think it was Joseph Floyd Walters' point that that's an opening match at Mania. I think it would be an opening match at SummerSlam too if Jey Uso was challenging for a championship. So that's my thoughts. I think Raw was all right, but I don't think I think it's just long, and I think it's kind of can be very draining sometimes. So hopefully things change. We'll be covering Dynamite tomorrow, but let's see if there's anything else I want to touch upon before I end the show. If you guys have questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the chat real quick. Also, on top of that too, if you haven't, be sure to like the video, hit subscribe. If you go to studio1sports.com and do that. Help out the channel that way. So, Caspian asks, did you listen to Nash's podcast? Him and Sean were looking for you near the end to clarify something about RVD's podcast. Oh, no, I didn't. I missed it. I told him I had to go, and I missed it. I wonder what it was. I wonder what they asked. Shoot. Hopefully I can talk about it this week. Because I had to leave. I literally had to leave early and take a phone call, and I had to do a production meeting. So I had to leave the show early. So I was out. I didn't stick around. Dang it. Thanks for telling me, Caspian. Let's see. Just making sure. All right. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for me. But I'll be back tomorrow. tomorrow, as I am every Monday through Friday, on a plethora of channels. But go to studiosports.com, hit like, subscribe there. Or if you listen on your podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple and help the show out in that way. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow. Might have, surely, I think probably have a guest host with me. So stay tuned for that. Yes. Oh, check out the new working stiff if you haven't yet. Joseph Walters is about to wash his hands, so do that. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And hey, Danhausen is the way.